Okay, so hello and welcome. My name is Katie Tremulous. I am the owner of Notary SWFL and also the founder of Roadmap to Ron. So we have Amy here today. She is a mentee student and also a rock star remote online notary. So go ahead and introduce yourself and your business.
So my name is Amy, and so I started a notary journey at the end of 2023. I'm actually not even 2 years, and I have always doing notary as a side hustle, and until May of this year. In the beginning of this journey, about in the first 12 months or so, I do in person and remote. And then later on, I realized remote online notary is where my passion is because I get to deliver, reduce the closing time and meet a lot of people all over the world, have a lot of crazy and fun stories.
Yes.
And so eventually I started to decide to laser focus on remote online notary.
Mhm.
And that's when I decided to become the mentee of Katie's mentorship program,
Mhm.
which greatly accelerate my transition from my remote in-person notary business
Mhm.
into the 100% remote online notary business. So yes, and in May I got laid off from my corporate job. So in that month, I was kind of panicked. So I asked Katie, "What should I do? What should I do?" Seriously.
Yeah.
Um, but with Katie's help and with a lot of guidance from her, in May, I actually reached from remote online notary only income, reached 75% of my day paycheck. And in June, my remote online notary income reached 100% of my corporate paycheck. And in July, my remote online notary income is 110% of my corporate job. So far, this is my track record. And I started the mentorship program in February.
I'm so
And
proud of you.
Katie is my mentor. And if anyone has any hesitation to get a mentorship, you should get on it.
Thank
Money is
you.
well spent.
Thank you. All right. Well, I wasn't expecting to cry during this one. Okay, well, I'm really proud of you because I do remember us talking about gosh darn it. Okay. I do remember us talking about some of the struggles for getting into the remote online notarization and how to frame it. So I'm also wanting to give you a huge amount of kudos because you were amazing to work with and continue to work with because you took my advice and then you ran with it like times 10 because I'd be like, yeah, okay, like maybe do this. And you would come back and you'd be like, I did this plus this and this and this. And I'm like, oh, okay. Okay, that's good. So I also wanted to recognize the amount of hard work that you have also done with networking and follow up and setting up emails and everything like that. So, do you have anything that you would think would be the best advice for someone that maybe wanted to recreate or start getting clients for remote?
The first of all is that you don't want to. A lot of people get into notary business probably wanted to do loan signings.
Hmm.
But I think it's a majority of the notaries because they heard loan signings, you can get a lot of money in an hour and that sort of thing.
Hmm.
But I think a remote online notary, you have to broaden it up and to not to limit to just the loan signings. First is loan signing is fluctuates with real estate. So as Katie's first, I think it's first class she gave me is that you have to round up your business to bulletproof the income. So you have to do just broaden your vision
Hmm.
and create your imagination. Think about who really wants to do notary on your smartphone.
Yeah.
So yes, so this is you just tell everybody you are remote online notary, and so teaches that first how to introduce what is remote online notary.
Hmm.
That's so simple but so important. And second, because I don't know, I don't know, so many people don't know about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And second, you have to just tell people that you have to just tell people the approach a business that may even use the remote online notary.
Hmm.
That's it. And actually, you would be surprised. There are so many things need to be remote online notarized.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
and
so,
yeah,
oh,
that's bulletproof. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So one of the things that I always run into is that people are like, "Oh, this is saturated. I'm gonna go out there and everybody's already going to be in those spaces as far as remote notarizations and like um the competition." But when you do go into other industries, because you've gone into a lot of different industries, what has your experience been when you're marketing?
First, they actually the first experience in marketing is that I realized people is not educated enough.
Yeah.
When I first get my remote online notarization, I thought, oh, everybody should know. La 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 la. Now
Yeah.
everybody almost do not know.
Hmm.
Like for example, this morning, there was just a power of attorney. She says, "Oh, after we sign it, we ship it back, right?" I was like, "What? No, it is not. You
Yeah.
just email it. It's a PDF."
Hmm.
So basically, you are an educator.
Hmm.
Everybody, you tell you are remote online notary. You just need to tell them what that is.
Yeah.
It's the very basic, and that's the experience. And then after they know how amazing remote online notary is,
Hmm.
basically you will be the only person they know you do remote online notary, and then you will be your go-to.
Hmm.
Remote online notary is a very, very blue ocean right now. So please get on that.
Yeah. So I know that you are really good with tracking your numbers, which I'm also really proud of you for doing. And then now, by your example, that's kind of what I tell the other mentorship students too, because I'm like, okay, you need a baseline of where you started versus where you're going. So do you have the numbers for that for remote notarizations from like when you start? And I'm putting you on the spot. We didn't talk about this
Yeah, yeah.
previously.
So I don't think my tracking is very consistent,
Okay.
but because I didn't track a certain KPIs I wanted to track, like
Mhm.
for example, how many signing, how many comes from directly in the
Mhm.
beginning.
Ah,
But
okay.
I remember Warren Buffett says, you see your reward system, and I will show you the result.
Mhm.
So in the beginning, I only focus on income, especially after I get laid off.
Yeah,
I have to pay bills. So
that makes
so I
sense.
track how much income I get. So
Mhm.
every month I would do a in the beginning of the mentorship. So there is like every week or every 2 weeks with Katie. So every during that time I just track the numbers of my remote online notary, and also because I wanted to transition into remote online notarization, so I track the income from remote online notarization only. What's
Mhm.
the percentage of income? So after tracking a little bit, it becomes remote online notarization finally reaches 99%, 99.5%,
Yeah.
and they eventually become 100%.
Mhm.
And then the income. So if I look back, I would look at in rather than income, I also would look back how much will come from direct clients,
Mhm.
how much how much you get paid for each of the signing on
Yeah.
average. So you will know in the future what is your time and the resources should come from.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if I do it again, that's two more things I would do.
Okay. So those type of KPIs for anyone that's starting out, those have been helpful, especially for me too, because we were just talking about that in the group mentorship. Like I'm very driven as far as watching numbers increase, and so are you. So it has been nice and it's motivating because like obviously there's very much like downturns or things that don't happen well in the business. So then it's like, all right, like that part was terrible, but like I'm going to make more and then you get to watch it increase as you like it's a marker of success for tracking those numbers. Do
End
you
of the day, it's a business. You want to make
yeah,
money, right?
yeah, I know. Well, I I don't know. It took a while for me to get into that mindset too. And so it's nice because I can just kind of sometimes with the mentorship snap people right into it where I'm like, no, this isn't, I mean, you can treat it like a side hustle, but like this isn't a side hustle. This is something that you can build. So yeah, it has been nice to just kind of start right on the bat with that where I'm like track everything because this is
Um, I
yeah.
also wanted to emphasize having that income not necessarily have to mean the lifestyle increase, because in the beginning is a side hustle money.
Hmm.
But looking back for a year and a half of journey of notary, I'm really happy that I invested a lot of money back into the business to learn for
Hmm.
courses.
Yeah.
And especially, yes. And I, again, Katie's mentorship class,
Thanks.
please. Seriously. Because I think that that's the, I think Alex Hormozy,
Hermosi, yeah, yeah.
yes, he says your price to pay is your ignorance price. So
Hmm.
between you make $100,000 a year and $1 million a year, the price you pay is $900,000 a year. So
Exactly.
you just need to fill that gap. So that gap comes from the training.
Yeah.
So I look back, I think the catalyst of doing any business or right this journey
Hmm.
is to really down to learn.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I also think that too. Like I've paid ridiculous amounts to be able to get into different rooms of people that are talking about different things that I'm like, all right, I don't know anything about this. This person is already an expert. Like, let me just close the gap on learning and then just figure this out. So, yeah, definitely the same thing. And then I'm also glad that you hit on lifestyle creep too, because sometimes, and even for me, I'm like, all right, I'm making a little bit more, like, let's spend a little bit more. And then that almost puts you in like a little bit of a different type of cage for when you're becoming an entrepreneur and starting to make your own money. Like it's very easy to want to buy nicer things. And so then
Because we work so hard.
I know, and then it's like, I deserve this. It's like, no, just chill out. And yeah, that's the same thing, like reinvesting it, putting it more into ad spend, putting it more into marketing, putting it into, giving gifts to clients or, education. So I'm glad that you touched on that because it's obviously sometimes treat yourself because you're going to work harder in the business if you're happier, but reinvest that too because otherwise you don't want to spend everything and have nothing to show for it. So
Yes.
yeah. So my next question for you is how many notarizations of remote online notarizations have you done in a day?
No less than five. Usually it's eight,
Mm-hmm.
and maximum is 14. And it happened, and the 14 means it didn't even include the success failed ones.
Oh no.
Yeah,
That's
yesterday
a
I
lot.
did.
So
I think yesterday I did the 16, but failed three. And no, failed three. So eventually I
yeah, yeah, yeah.
completed 13.
Jeez. That's
Yesterday is
congratulations. Oh, it's end of month. Yeah.
the
So
end of the month. So
yeah, and
today is actually slow because nobody wants to work. But
yeah. They're like, yesterday was terrible. I don't want to do it. Yeah, that's crazy though. Okay, so that's good job. Do you recommend doing that or
um, I think in the beginning, especially for newer ones,
hmm.
do that to yourself. And but right now, I would call myself seasoned,
Hmm.
and so I can I think in the beginning, you learn how to touch the pulse of a client.
Hmm.
So touch the of each process and give yourself a cheat sheet to shorten your work time.
Hmm.
But now, don't
Yeah.
do more than 10. Don't do that to yourself. It's really not so healthy.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Sometimes, like, I get it. I get it because I think the most that I've ever done when I looked back on it was 11, and that was not that fun. So 14, I would be on the floor after that. Like, all right, I'm just, I don't know. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's really good. And then
Well, right now, especially I have income driven goal, so I just take whatever it is because I wanted to reach my 10K goal.
hmm yeah,
So yeah, so I have to do the tally by end of the month, see
okay.
how it goes. Yeah.
Cool.
So right now it's goal driven, and later we will do another goal.
Yeah, so that's another thing about the mentorship too is like we do talk about scaling and working with with a team. So eventually once you want to make some changes within your business or talk about, that is something that is available as well. So anyone that's listening, we do talk about scaling and making it so that way you're not like for me, I was a basket case for the 11 session days. So um yeah, but work-life balance is always
But I also wanted to mention
Mhm.
remote online notarization is more efficient than driving around to do
Yes,
notary.
yes.
So there is a possibility that you can have more work done in one
Mhm.
day.
Yeah.
Um, as income
Yes.
wise, yeah.
Yes. And there are I mean, I just feel like sometimes I don't have the highest stress capacity, but like if you do have a little bit of a higher stress capacity or, you know, just
Don't do that to yourself too much. I
well, well, no, I'm saying there are some people out there. I'm just not one of them, but they can maintain doing like 14 a day and they just consistently do it. I don't know how, but there are people out there that do like 14 a day consistently. Like, there's always ebbs and flows, but it's like, all right, okay.
we
So,
actually in the beginning of the month,
mhm,
in the middle of the month, I got burnout. Don't make yourself burn out.
yeah.
I was kind of wanted to cut back and
hmm
to do more time on marketing,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you just simply increase your time, get paid per hour, so you can still reach your time goal.
Yeah.
That's just my thought.
Okay, yeah. So the next thing that I also wanted to go into is the aspect of being bilingual, because you speak Mandarin, and that has been something that has been helpful for me. Um, like let me lay the framework. So for me, it's helpful because I don't speak Mandarin, but I can offload the work or contact Amy if there are people that are more comfortable doing a notarization in Mandarin. And so that's a value add for me in my business. And so I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but you are a resource for people that do want to start working with a Mandarin speaking notary because that's such a huge value add. So can you talk about that a little bit about how it's added to your business, how you market that?
Actually, first is bilingual is how you open a market for yourself. At least for me,
hmm
because when I first started the business, it's the end of 2023. Real estate market is kind of really slow.
hmm
So, but eventually, some title office start to use me because I speak Chinese.
hmm
In Las Vegas, I think I'm the one of only two Mandarin speakers of wrong. Notary in general.
Yeah.
So wrong is even less.
Yeah.
And if you want to do wrong and biometrics, it's like hey, like a
You are
needle
a
in
needle in the haystack. I will tell you that.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So that I think bilingual is definitely a door opener for
hmm
marketing the business,
hmm
and it is going to be um, you will start to finding all those language speaking signers leaning toward your way.
hmm
It is going to add your income. Like for example, I will have four signers speak Chinese my way today because
Okay.
every English speaking looks like they are not working.
Okay.
Everybody anyway, they are in China.
Yeah.
So so it is going to income. You will find a lot of language you speak going your way. And also because Montana Notary
hmm
can have translators. So I also find that a partnership with some translating business will provide additional value for the clients.
Yeah.
Mm,
And
yeah.
so I want to applaud you because that has been something that you've been able to add to the business and do think that that is something that when people are bilingual, they should lead with that.
Mm.
Because I've had entire conversations with other notaries, and then, it's just like the normal run of the mill. And then I realized, just by looking at them, like through their Instagram, they happen to have like one post about how they speak Portuguese. And I'm like, why wouldn't you lead with that? Like, lead with your value adds or the things that make you unique that would be helpful for other notaries within the business, but then also like you really need to advocate for yourself within the business. Like you cannot be humble in business. So yeah.
Yeah, and if you are speak any special any no, new notaries there, if you speak any other language, that's a huge advantage.
Mhm.
Please tell people that the first time you meet them, trying to market.
Yes, yeah. And then also, just as a side note, you can also mark yourself that you do speak a different language and what language on the signing services. And that is important because, like for me as a signing service, I can find different notaries depending on what it is that I click on. And so if you don't click that you speak like Mandarin, then you're not going to show up. And so that just automatically takes you out of the running. And so like you need to do that for those signing services that do have that availability. So
Mm.
yeah, but okay, so how would people find you in order to start working with you, make that connection for partnership?
Please use Prime Notary service, and I will also ask Katie to put my contact information out
Yes.
dear after this interview.
Hmm.
And yeah, I am very accessible, I think.
Yes.
Easy
And
to
then
find,
you what?
easy to find.
Yes. And then what's your Instagram handle?
Prime Notary service.
Perfect.
I
Okay.
will drop in the
Yeah, we'll put it in the description too. We'll put it in the
yes.
description too. Yeah, so we'll put it in the YouTube description. I wanted to thank you so much for both trusting me for the mentorship and then also being such a valuable part of the team and then our community.
Katie, I love you and your mentorship group.
Okay, goodbye.